It's time to go!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claude and the Banstas. This is our late, early show this week because of the bank holiday. We're a few hours earlier tonight, which is good for me. Don't know about you, Stan. What time's it out there now, mate?
It's just 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So for you two, this is quite reasonable for Sundays, isn't it?
Yeah, this is quite reasonable for us. It's not too bad, you know what I mean? We ain't got no bags under our eyes with matchsticks at the moment, trying to keep them open. So it's all right for us at the moment. So, yeah, welcome to the late show. That's till dawn. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all good. Seamus, hope you're good, mate. Harry, hope you're good. We've got Stan with us tonight. How you doing, Stan? You okay, mate?
Yeah, I can't complain. You know, still in Vancouver here, they're sort of starting to relax the lockdown, so it seems. But other than that, a very quiet week for me, Terry.
Yeah. Hello, Omar. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Delwyn Jones, hope you're good, mate. And Claude, how you doing, mate? How you holding up? You all right, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. You know, it's bank holiday. It's bank holiday weekend, and people have taken advantage. And unfortunately, not good really, because it could set everyone back. Yeah, because as I said, I showed you what I showed you earlier. Showed you earlier what happened, didn't I? Playing football on the park. There was a 6 or 7 side game going on. Fucking not very good. Not very good, mate. And if we have another second spike, we know where to blame it, don't we?
Yeah. I just want to say hello to Mikey. Mikey says, hey, everyone. For once, I'm watching live over here in New Zealand. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. What's the time in New Zealand now, Mikey? Let us know. Jake, how you doing, mate? He's in the chat. He says, Paul, can you tell the government it's time to go? Embarrassing.
Well, it is embarrassing when one of the ministers actually goes against it. But it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of echoing going on here, Terry.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. Is it? I don't know where it's coming from, to be honest. Yeah, it's coming from Stan, I think.
What is it?
Yeah, sure, Stan.
What is it?
I don't know what it is. It's echoing, but when you put your mic on mute, it don't echo.
Okay, let me. I'll leave and come back then and see if we can get if it does anything. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him because in our last chat, obviously he's over in Vancouver, Canada. Someone was saying that they're having a second spike, so I wanted to get his take on that, if it's true, how bad it is. Mikey Smith said it's 10 a.m. over here. We just had a small earthquake. Bloody hell. I hope everyone's safe, Mikey. I don't know if you see that, Stanley. Mikey just said it's 10 a.m. over here. We just had a small earthquake.
Who looked on the chat? Who was that?
Someone. Doesn't matter.
I thought it was Curtis. I thought it was Curtis.
No. Yeah, I hope everyone's safe over there, Mikey. A small earthquake.
Wow.
Yeah. We're getting live reports here from Mikey. Let us know, Mike, if everything's all right.
Yeah, everyone's okay, yeah. You was going to ask Stan.
Yeah, Stan, I was going to ask on our last show, not on the one we done, but on our last one we done. I can't remember who it was. We had someone from Canada in the chat, and he was saying at the moment you've got quite a bad second spike over there. I don't know how true that is, or if that's what's happening, or.
I'm in British Columbia in Vancouver, and from what I've seen, the figures have actually dropped quite substantially. So I don't know if it's another part of Canada, maybe Montreal or somewhere else, but where we are in British Columbia, so far it looks like it's going down. And I think we even had a couple of days where there were no more new outbreaks or new cases reported.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's massive here, It's a massive country, right? So there could be somewhere else, like you say, where they're still having problems.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask just to get your side of it. I just want to update everyone on Mike England. Last time he said that he mentioned his mum having COVID-19, and she's doing fine at the moment. All our best wishes are going out to you, Mike, and I hope it's a mild case for her, mate.
Yeah, that's good news.
Yeah, well done. Good luck, mate.
How you doing, Richard? Evening, all we said. Sammy Gooner, how you doing, mate? Big up, guys. Matthew Peake has put Vancouver Island is cool. All Shoe Bay is quality.
Yeah, I've not been to Vancouver Island. It's something that's on my list to do because apparently that's where Bigfoot. You can get Bigfoot up there. So I want to go. I want to go out there and see if I can find Bigfoot. Oh,
that would be take that a camera because if you see one, I want to see it in all stand. Mr. Tenpenny, thanks for your contribution. He said, Claude, who would you rather have, Teddy Bishop or George Lewis?
No, neither of them. I remember we were linked to him a few years ago, weren't it? It was a big joke at the time. I don't even know where he's playing now. As for George Lewis, I'm not. I don't know. We get linked to all these players now. It's ridiculous. I'm hearing Coutinho could be on the list. I'm not 100% on him either because at the end of the day, why is he being touted around like he is? There must be something wrong with him. We'll see. We'll see anyway.
Sammy Gooner said, Terry, I'm from Toronto, Canada, and it's not true. Yes, it's true. A lot of people are out right now, but we are still in the first strike. Right. There's no news about second spike here. It's not true, Terry. Okay, Sammy. Right, let's move on quickly then to this. This is what I want to talk about, boys. It's obviously been big news again, the Premiership. Let's get it up. And that is... Can you see that, boys? Bournemouth have had two new positive tests.
You have to. Oh yeah, I think I just see it on the corner there. Yeah, sorry, mate.
Bournemouth have had a player tested positive after the second wave of tests being done for the Premiership coming back. So the total now is 8. I think it is 8 tests. I mean, obviously, I think they've done about 950 odd tests, and only 9 have tested positive. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, Stan.
Well, am I right in thinking that you can test positive, but you don't necessarily show all of the symptoms and feel poorly?
Yeah,
is that right? And can you still pass it on to other people if you're in that state?
Yeah, I do believe you can.
Then of course, then if it's still contagious, then it's a worry.
Yeah,
and there has to be. I've always felt that football should be finished now until next season, and let's really have a big pullback from football and try and do our best to allow the virus to run its course rather than stop it. If we start again, my biggest worry is we start again and this kind of news is coming out that we have to then stop again, and then we stop and it's for longer than what it is necessary because we jump the gun a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, looking at the attitude of people over the park, I don't think anyone cares anymore. I mean, I'm not being funny. Everyone is out there at the moment in the park. The park was full today. People. No one seems to be caring anyway. So I don't know. What's the point? What's the point? We might as well all fucking go out now. I'm joking. I'm not joking. I just walked today outside. I know it's bank holiday weekend. I walked outside, as I told you about the football game that was going on. You saw it as well, Terry.
Yeah.
There was no care in the world. No one was disputing them. Police vehicles were driving down. They weren't doing nothing about it. So why is there? I don't know what the panic is. There's no. Obviously, the people were. No, there's no panic. No one seems to care. No one seems to care. So we might as well all bloody go out. Who's obeying the rules? You tell me.
Well, to be fair with you, Claude, since he relaxed the lockdown rules last time, to me, it went back to normal from then anyway. And now, obviously, he's going into phase 2 when we've still got, a lot of deaths going on still. I know we're down to, under 200 now. But, I mean, come on,
when they see people see a minister not giving a shit, right? People don't care anymore. They think, oh well, no one's really. We're being, you know, we don't believe in it, because if they see a minister, right, who's putting the rules down in the first place, going against it all, people are going to say, well, what are we doing? We might as well just go out. We don't believe it. We don't believe it's happening. I mean, that minister, he should have resigned on the spot. But obviously he's not. Boris is backing him. So how do you expect the general public to behave when they see the politicians doing exactly the opposite to what they're saying?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think it's disgusting, to be honest. And let's just hope that, you know, it doesn't cause a second spike, because if it does, then football won't be back. It's as simple and easy as that.
It's been really, since I've been on lockdown here in Canada, where I am, it's been really confusing, because, you know, we're having to work from home. A lot of people are working from home. Yet during the lockdown, I can go to the supermarket, the bakers, the off license, the weed dispensaries, because it's legal here. They're still open, but I can't go to the bank. I can't go to the phone shop to pay my bill. I can't buy any shoes. It's really weird. Like, it kind of has never for me really felt like a lockdown, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just other than the working from home part and no retail being open and bars being open, it's kind of felt, you know, if I want to go down the off license, I can. I can queue for 10 minutes to go in there, but I can't go to the bank to sort out my finances.
Is the schools open over there yet, Stan?
I don't think that they are yet. There is a school just round by me, and that's sort of kind of being with a big playground, and they've kind of roped off the playground, if you know what I mean. So I don't think they're quite back yet.
Yeah, because obviously after today's announcement, Boris has announced that some years in primary school are going to go back to school from the 1st of June, and a couple of years in secondary school will be going back, obviously, because they've got exams and that. But I don't understand, right? I don't know if it's just me, but how can you tell people to still stay on furlough because you can't go to work because your office is not safe for you to be in, but yet you're going to send your kid to school where apparently it's going to be safe and you can't go to work and it's not safe?
That seems to be the problem, right? The things that you can do, it really conflicts with some of the things that you're not allowed to do. So it's just very confusing, right? You know, It's really, really confusing. I mean, if I go down to the supermarket, they have like these little green lines spaced out to queue to get in, so that you're not standing too close. But let's be honest. If the person in front of me has got it, and it comes out of them and comes towards me, it's not going to stop at the green line because it's just out of reach. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you were only a bit closer, I could get you. I mean, I'm going to get it. So a lot of it, to me, it feels like you know, like going through the motions to like present that, well, we're trying to do what we can, but to me, some of it just seems a bit ridiculous. I mean, I can still go down to McDonald's, KFC, and that's not for takeaways. I can go there, queue up, buy takeaway food, kebabs. I don't understand it, but I can't go to my bank. That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this is the same, Matthew. You're right. Send the kids to school, but can't see their grandparents. Mad. It's absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? This is what I can't understand. Childminders, right? Childminders. They're telling childminders that they have to go back, right? They have to go back. Now, with childminders, they obviously you're governed by how many kids you're allowed to have as a childminder. Because obviously you're not a school, you have it in your setting, and Ofsted give out them rules, which is fair enough. But how can you keep 2, 3, 4-year-olds 2 meters apart?
Yeah, it's
right?
very difficult.
They're not allowed to play with any toys, because obviously if one plays with a toy and then they've got it, automatically when the other kid picks it up, they've got it. So when they're not allowed to play with toys, they've already said that curriculum has gone out the window, so no learning basically. So all they're basically going to be doing is sitting 2 meters apart in your setting watching TV. why, while most parents are on furlough, sitting in their ass, being safe, but yet coming out, dropping their kid off into a dangerous setting, probably mixing with other people, and then picking them back up and then taking them home again. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, boys.
I think a good one that I saw the other day, which kind of sums it up. There was two signs next to each other outside a shop. One said, you know, you can't come into the shop if you're wearing hats or hoodies. And then right next to it was another sign saying that everyone coming into the shop must wear a mask.
Ridiculous. I wish that was the real James Charles, because he's got a big following, Claude. We'd have superstars on our channel then. But James Charles has put, what if one of the kids dies? Exactly that, mate.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not even that. What if one of the teachers dies or a childminder dies from looking after the kids?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what's that. I know what's going to happen, but why? If it was that serious, why did he relax it? You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know. I mean, as I say, Terry, what I'm saying to you, Terry, now is, how can you take something seriously when one of the ministers does exactly doing what he's telling you not to do?
exactly.
So, how can you take it seriously, Terry? How can you take it seriously, mate? And then he's backed by the prime, minister of this country, mate.
Exactly.
So how can you take anything like this seriously anymore, mate? We have done our bit. We stayed indoors. We sacrificed ourselves for how long? 8-9 weeks for all this.
Yep.
And what's happening now? We're just doing what they want.
I did see some of this on the news over here. I did see some of it.
For me, if they can go over the park and play football, then they can play football in the Premier League. That's what I say. That's how I see it.
Didn't it come out
over the park? Why stop it? If they can play over the park and are allowed to do so, why stop Premier League players when they've got actually good, proper security around them? Why stop it? What's the point? That's what I'm saying.
The thing is,
if it's that dangerous, Terry, why? I'm looking at Finsbury Park this afternoon, and I've seen an 8 or 6 or 7 aside game going on in Finsbury Park, and nothing is done about it. If it's that bloody dangerous, and if it's that serious,
yeah, I know, mate.
There we go.
It's ridiculous. All right, let's move away from that now. I mean, obviously, we've been speaking about that. I mean, just quickly though, two have tested positive in the championship and all. By the way, just in case you didn't know. Mm. So it ain't just the Premier League; it's the championship now and all, which is being affected. So I suppose we'll see how it goes. But to me, it just seems to be dragging on, doesn't it? Just think, when are they going to make a decision? Why can't they say, right, look, we're going to give it to in 2 weeks' time. If not, then we will sit down, we'll have a meeting with the Premiership and the teams and the players, and then we'll make a decision. What are we waiting for?
Well, even in talking about the 1st of June, they must be very confident that all these shops will be starting to open again. All these retail shops will be all starting to open. So, I mean, obviously, they don't think it's as serious as what we think it is, and so let's go. Let the football begin. I mean, it's one or the other. I just don't want to be fed bullshit, and I feel that this government has been feeding us bullshit for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I just want to bring this one up. We've got LFC Vancouver 32 in the house. He said, "Let's get back so the great Liverpool can celebrate their deserved title win." Listen, you really do deserve the title this season. You've been absolutely phenomenal. Even if the season does end, for me, I mean, they've got to give you the title no matter what. You know what I mean? You're 2 games, I think, away from winning the title, and you're going to win it anyway. So for me, you absolutely deserve it. But listen, we're still celebrating our win from yesterday. Did you watch it on ITV? The 89 game. Arsenal 1-2-0. Mickey Thomas scored.
Yeah, them days are far away, mate. I'll tell you. Distant memory.
Well, I want to let's move on from this. Right, Sky Sports have they've gone through our Arsenal team, boys, and said that who's going to stay and who they reckon's going to go, and it's quite interesting. So let me pick it up and let's see what you think of it.
That should be interesting.
And everyone else, right? So here we go. Can you see that, boys? Right. So our goalkeepers, the verdict. They've said Bert Leno is going to stay. They said Martinez is going to stay, and they said Macy is going to go.
Well,
any surprises there?
I'd rather. I don't know. I mean, out of the two, one of those two will have to go. But in fact, Martinez has been there a long time, hasn't he? So probably needs to play somewhere else if you want to get regular football. I really do believe we need to get a proper number, a better number two than what we've got anyway. So
just before I come to you, just before I come to you, we've got Diesel in the house. How you doing, Diesel? He's still hungover in bed after the celebrations from yesterday. He was drinking to early hours in the morning, and he's in bed still. Diesel, so you know he partied hard.
Yeah, more like he's got some bird in there. That's why he's not on. Anyway, let's go on. Yeah.
What do you reckon of that, Stan? Your verdict to them three?
I'm kind of inclined to agree with Claude there. I think, Martinez, I think he's probably at the age now where he should be thinking about going somewhere else to play every week, right? You know, be a number one goalkeeper if it means dropping down a division or going abroad. So, maybe it's time that we could be thinking about having a better backup as a number two.
Yeah. I think we need, to be honest, it wouldn't bother me if Martinez or Macy went, to be honest, and we got someone else in. For me, I don't know. Diesel says some sort of Doris he's got in there. I don't know what that's referring to. Claude, do you know what that means?
Oh yeah, I know. I told you he's got a bird there. That's why he's not come on.
All right, let's move on to.
He's doing like the minister. He's breaking the rules like the minister because he's got no trust in the minister either. Good luck, man. Good luck to you, Diesel. Good luck to you, my friend.
Get in there, Diesel. You know what I mean? I want to see another notch on that bedpost.
Good old Diesel.
Make sure she don't headbutt the wall too hard. You have to plaster it again afterwards, otherwise it's a big job that.
So be careful with your wallet, mate, as well. Anyway, let's go. Let's carry on now.
Sky Sports are saying that Hector Bellerin and Cedric Soares will stay. What's your reaction to that, Stan?
Yeah, I'm one of those that I still think there's a job for Hector at Arsenal, but I always think that we get the most out of Hector when he's not the automatic first choice. When he knows his place is under threat and there's someone at his heels, I think he plays better. As for Suarez, I don't know anything about him. I never really watched Southampton, and he's not kicked the ball for us yet, so I couldn't tell you anything about him.
What about you, Claude?
Bellerin, I'm not sure. I don't know with Bellerin. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he's carrying on. I've ordered the wheelchair. Oh my God, that bad is it? Right.
That sounds like a score well spent.
Let's hope she don't get a puncher.
Oh dear, poor old DJ.
Yeah, for me, I've not really seen much of Cedric, to be honest. You know, would I have wanted him? Not really. But, you know, we've got him now. So hopefully after a couple of games, we can sort of give him a verdict of how good he's going to be. Bellerin, I think, is past his sell-by date now. I would get rid of him.
I agree.
And move on to be honest, if he can get rid of the chip on the shoulder and Arteta can get him under his wing, I think Maitland-Niles could be a really good right back for us. I really do under Arteta, but that's just me. Right, let's move on to the couple of other defenders. What they've got, they're saying that Tierney will stay, but Kosniak will go.
Yeah, I mean Tierney's got to stay. I mean Tierney. Fully fit Tierney is going to be a player. One that's got to be a mainstay in the team. I think he could actually produce a good partnership alongside Saka on that side of the pitch. And it would be interesting to see them play together. I'd really like to see them play together more often. So, yeah, definitely stays. Kolasinac, yeah, as Ozil probably will be leaving. I think he hasn't got to do any more, what you call it, guarding duties for him at all. So no protection, doesn't need to protect Ozil, any more protection and all that. So maybe he's over. He's not really useful anymore, is he?
No. What about you, Stan?
I've got high hopes for Kieran Tierney. I really have. I like him. I think as well. He's something about his attitude as well. When I've heard him in interviews, he sounds like the sort of guy that could be a future captain as well. He's really good, a good talker as well. But with Sead Kolasinac, right? Because the story is that we're going to offer, or we're still talking to that Kazawa from PSG, the left back, on a free transfer. So if the idea is to get rid of Sead Kolasinac, who we brought in on a free, and we say get 20 million for him, maybe 25 million euros, and we bring in Kazara on a free, and the wages kind of just swap over, then we've kind of made a profit. And then we have hopefully two left backs who can give each other competition, and we get the best out of both of them then.
Yeah. Listen, I think Tierney, hopefully he comes good next season. I mean, at the moment, really, this season, do you remember Debussy?
Yeah.
What I mean? He's been a bit like his first season.
Yeah.
I mean, he come in, broke his leg after the first couple of games, come back from that, and then broke his arm. You know what I mean? So Tierney's been a bit like that this season. Hopefully, he comes good. I mean, he looks fantastic. Celtic fans absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
They keep bigging him up. So I'm still hoping that he comes good. And for me, Kosniak, I think we can just, like you said, let's sell him, Bellerin, get some money in, recoup, and start getting some players in that we actually need, defensive midfielders and proper central defenders. So that's what I would like to do personally.
I don't like to think that the enforced layoff that the players have had, someone like Kieran Tierney could benefit from that. When he comes back, when football does begin, I expect to see him being 100%, fit. All these little niggles have gone. He's, all healed up.
Right. So who else we got here? We have got central defenders now. They're saying David Luiz will stay, Mari will stay, Oldham will stay, Chambers will stay, Mavropanos will go out on loan, Socrates will go, and Mustafi will go. What do you think about that, boys?
Well, it's wishful thinking on the last two, but whether they can get rid of them because of the money they're on at the moment is another thing. But with wishful thinking, I hope they do. The last two do go. Mavropanos on loan, maybe needs a new environment for a season or for one season. That might bring him back to, because he was before he went off a little bit, before that injury. He wasn't too. He looked quite good to me, but then he had a bit of one bad game, and his confidence went, didn't it? So I don't know. Give him on loan. Chambers, there's going to be no choice there because he's injured, so he can't go anywhere anyway. So we've got no choice but to keep him. Rob Holding, but he needs to step up. I'll still keep him in as a backup. who was the other one? Pablo Mari. Well, we haven't seen much of him, but as I say, back up as well. And David Luiz, because I think I'd keep David Luiz because of his experience. I know you probably don't agree with me, Terry, but I think his experience with a young defender is probably what we need to coax him through. I don't think two inexperienced defenders at centre half is a good idea because it could all go pear-shaped from there. So I would keep Luiz just because of his experience as well. So that's my thoughts on that.
Okay, just before I come to you, Stan, Mike England, this is what I'm drinking, mate.
Yeah, don't rub it in because I've just run out of booze, mate.
Well, you're normally got loads of them on here, so I'm going to rub it into you. You're always rubbing it into me, and I've got to go to work normally.
All right. I'll let you
What's your feelings on that, Stan?
I'm going to be quite cutthroat here. If it was my, and I was able to sort of like control that, the only on that list that I would to see stay at Arsenal would be Pablo Mari. Like Claude said, I've just not seen enough of him. So, I mean, he could be good. You see some more of him, but
Stan, can you hear us?
The others,
Stan, can you hear me? Your connection is really bad at the second.
Yeah.
You keep breaking up. Start again with the defenders. We didn't hear it properly.
I could hear him.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying that if it was my way, I'd be really cutthroat, and I would say that the only two on that list that I would keep would be Holding and Chambers. I've not seen enough of Mari. So, yeah. I mean, I have no idea, you know, he's barely kicked a ball for us, but everybody else on that list.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah, cool, mate.
But it's not a perfect world, right? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, like what Claude says, if we are bringing in young defenders, we're going to need someone who's got a bit of experience to help bring them through. So I do understand why someone like David Luiz would probably need to be kept around. But my biggest worry here is that the ones that are going to go, that we'd like to see go, I'd like to see Socrates and Mustafi go, is that because of the current climate, you know, clubs that would maybe come in with a cheeky 15 million euro bid to take them away, they might not have that kind of money floating around. And then we're boxed into a corner where we have to maybe extend their contracts as opposed to them leaving without getting a return on them.
Yeah. Look, for me, I'm going to be the same as Stan. I mean, if you had to tie my hands behind my back, then obviously I'd keep David Luiz for a squad player. As anything, Rob Holding and Chambers, they're still quite young. I mean, they've been hit with a load of injuries. Pablo Mari, don't really know much about him, how good he is. And definitely the bottom three, we need to ship out straight away. First thing we need to do is ship them three out. So possibly, you know, 4, but 2 of them will probably be squad players more than anything. So that's what I would go with. Let's move on, boys. We have now got the midfielders. And they have got Granit Xhaka. Oh, my God. They got him to stay. Goodness sakes. They got him to stay. They got Ozil to stay. Joe Willock to stay. Maitland-Niles to stay. Guendouzi to stay. Torreira to go. El Nini to go. And Ceballos to go. Stan.
Well, I'll go for... Oh, sorry.
Claude?
I'll go from the bottom up, yeah. Ceballos, me personally, I would keep him. But if he doesn't want to stay, it was no good. You can't force him because he's a loanee, so he'll decide. But if it was down to me, I'd keep Ceballos. El Neni, oh well, cheerio. Should have been 3 years. Should have gone 3 years ago. I don't know why he's still here. I'm surprised he's still here. Torreira, that's another one that I would keep, but he has to be happy. I don't want to play. He's a sort of player that if he's not happy, he won't perform for you. So, yeah. You're right, Mikey. So with Torreira, I would keep, but I think it's going to be up to him on that one. Maitland-Niles, he says he's staying. If his attitude improves, I'd keep him. Joe Willock, yes, I think he's got a future, but he needs to step up now. But he has the ability to step up. It's now down to him mentally to get going. Ozil, I'm afraid. Ozil's got as much as we all. It's got to be the end for me for Ozil. I think he needs to find another club. I think he will go anyway. So I don't know who says he's going to stay. And Granit Xhaka, I mean, I can't have him, mate. I can't have him staying at all. But there you go. That's what they reckon, but they don't look too clever to me. I don't like the players that staying.
What about you, Stan?
Again, a little bit like the defenders. There's not a lot on there that I would keep. I work cut from the bottom up like Claude did. Dani Ceballos, from day one, he's never come across to me that he ever wanted to stay at Arsenal. If he was given the opportunity, he always came across to me that it was merely a stepping stone for him to get playing time, to put himself back into contention for the international team and also to get back into Madrid. If we were going to spend, say, somewhere between 40 to 50 million, that's what he would probably cost. I honestly believe that money could be better spent elsewhere. I'm not saying he's a bad footballer or anything, but if you're giving me 40 to 50 million, I could think of a few other people that I would put it on. Yeah. El Neni, I've always felt that El Neni could be a squad player to cover for people when they're injured, to maybe fill in a League Cup game. So there's a job there that could be done. Lucas Torreira, a lot of people that say that he's too small. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of him that were on Twitter over the last few days. He's bulked up now. He's absolutely ripped. He looks like a little miniature Hulk now, Lucas Torreira. So it's a good sign. It looks like he's working on his weaknesses. So if he wants to stay, I'd be happy for him to stay. Guendouzi, I think there's some work to be done there. And I think that one of the things that I really hope that Mikel Arteta can do is that he has a good eye to improve players. Because, we're going to be relying on bringing through people from the academy now and bringing in people that may be playing in another country and a couple of leagues down, like a Martinelli. So Mikel Arteta has to be able to work with young talent. I would have liked to have seen Guendouzi out on loan last season to serve his apprenticeship, but he stayed with us. So I wouldn't send him out on loan now. He's a rough diamond that needs filing down. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I don't think he has quite that application for what's required to play for Arsenal. Joe Willock, I'm not sure that Arsenal is the right level for him. I think there's a good player in there, but I'm not sure that Arsenal is his level. Mesut Ozil, everybody knows what I think about Mesut Ozil. I wanted him gone a long time ago. And Granit Xhaka, I honestly think that, forget all of the stuff with the swearing and all of the other stuff, just as a football player, I honestly believe that we should be able to upgrade on Granit Xhaka. And I don't understand why we seem to be putting so much faith into him, like he's the be-all and end-all number 6. Again, I just think that we should have taken that 40 million from Hertha Berlin. We could have maybe added the 10 million to that and activated Thomas Partey's release clause. This ain't Football Manager. He's got a release clause. You can activate it. So I would have taken that 40 million from Hertha Berlin for Granit Xhaka myself.
I totally agree. I would have took 5 million, to be honest. We'll get on to that in a second. But I'll go from top to bottom. Dani Ceballos, if we can get him for 20, 25 million, I would definitely buy him. He'd be a great buy for our squad. Any more than that, then, like Stan said, I think you can go out and get better players that's in a better position for us at the moment. El Nini, it's not even worth talking about. Like Claude said, he should have gone 3 years ago. Lucas Torreira, I'll keep at all costs. For me, I think he's been fantastic. I mean, I know he didn't do that great under Emery, but totally different cat of fish there. You know, no player done well under Emery. To be fair though, when he first come to us under Emery, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. And if we can get a player like Partey in next to him, I think that'd be an absolutely brilliant midfield. Torreira and Partey. Guendouzi, for me, he needs to go out on loan. He needs to learn how to play English football. He's very, very weak off the ball. He's got no pace. He's great when we're losing morale in the team. Don't get me wrong. He drives forward, but he needs to learn English football. There's no way in this world that he should be playing for Arsenal at the moment.
No, agree.
Maybe introduce him into games. I've got no problem with that, but he should not be in our first team at the moment. Like I said, Aisling, Maitland-Niles, if we can knock the chip off his shoulder. Derwin Jones, thanks for tuning in, mate, and see you soon, mate. As for Maitland-Niles, if we can knock the chip off his shoulder and then he gets right down to hard work under Arteta, I think he could do something. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, before people read into this, I'm not saying he's going to be a Sterling player. I'm saying that, you know, what he done with Sterling was absolutely fantastic. So he can do the same thing for Maitland-Niles. I'm not saying he's going to reach Sterling's or anything like that. I'm just saying he could become a great player. Joe Willock, same thing. He's still a young player. He can do great things for us under Arteta, I think. Mesut Ozil. Everyone knows I'm opposite to Stan. I really do love him. I think if we could get players that, you know, around him to build a team, he'd be fantastic. Like I said, if you put him in Man City's team or Liverpool's team now, the amount of assistance he'd get would be unbelievable. So for me, I would love to keep him, but I'm going to say sell because I know that we ain't going to do that. So I'd rather get him off the wage bill and get players in that we can build a team with now. And Granit Saka, oh my God. Honestly,
Terry, take a deep breath.
Honestly, how on earth this? Honestly, it really winds me up, right? It really winds me up because the way our fans back this man, right? The way they back him is like he's on par with Vieira. That's how big that some fans big him up. Honestly, you know what I mean? What on earth do these fans see? Because you know what I mean? I've seen him live. I watch him on TV. He is absolutely shit. He is. Yeah. I don't see anything that he does that gives me any positivity why I'd want him in my team.
He has some really good moments now and again. You know, he can have some good moments, but that's not enough. Do you know what I mean? It's not enough. The mistakes, for me, it's same as Mustafi, far outweigh the good things. You know, for example, you know that Chelsea game when Martinelli scored that cracking goal, you know, and everyone talks about how it was Mustafi that, you know, headed the ball out to him. And that's all very well and good. But for me, the mistake that he done earlier in the game is the difference for us, that game, ending a draw and not a win. Did you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Mistakes that cost you actual physical points. And that should not be tolerated whatsoever. And Xhaka's exactly the same. He drops points for us.
Well, I totally agree with you, Stan. Totally agree. Big up Curtis Shaw. He's in the chat. Hope you're well, mate. He said, we signed Xhaka ahead of Kante. Well, that just shows you. That proves my point of what we were talking about at the end of the game yesterday, Claude, with Wenger. Do you know what I mean? He just... some of the buys that he bought, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know if we bigged him up. I don't know Wenger sometimes. When you actually break it down and look at the players that he's actually bought for us over the years, we have never, ever gone out, as far as I can remember, Stan, I was saying to this with Claude yesterday, and gone and got a player in his prime, one of the best out there. When was the last time we done that?
I think for me with Wenger as well, when he first came in, do you know what I mean, to Arsenal, he still had his finger in the pulse and he seemed to be really entrenched with what was happening at youth level in France. You know, he knew about the Thierry Henrys, the Nicolas Anelkas, the Petits, the Vieiras of this world and was able to really, to bring them in. and maybe the amount of time that he spent in England and the older that he got, it seemed that his view got smaller and smaller and smaller, so much so that we started to rely on Stats DNA, a software package that would generate stats to help Wenger find the next player. And that's a huge difference to how it was when he first started. And I just think that he stayed at Arsenal for so long and became so blinkered and entrenched at Arsenal, he lost a lot of contact of, players that were coming through. And you're right, some of the dross that we tried, I mean, you can pick a few names out, right? I mean, Silvestre, what was that all about? Bringing in Silvestre, do you know what I mean? Francis Jeffers, some real clangers that just did not work out. Do you know what I mean? And it almost seems like we had to go through 3 or 4 signings to get a good one.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Claude?
What, on the midfield, you know? We're talking about the same player.
No, about Wenger, what we were just talking about with the players and that.
Yeah, I my thoughts on that towards the end with even. Did you see the Ashley Cole thing yesterday?
What, on Match of the Day? Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
he actually said that towards the end, end of his time at Arsenal, he could see the players who had the real mental edge were leaving, and he could see it wasn't the same anymore. It wasn't the same. How can you put it? What did he say? The same drive. He put it something like that. I can't remember. He said they didn't have that drive that they had before, and I think a lot of it. Once those characters left, I think Wenger was, for me, was exposed, and I'm afraid they never really recovered. So that's where I stand on it. And these players, they're all Wenger players. I mean, Xhaka's a Wenger player, isn't he? He brought Xhaka.
Yeah.
El Neni, there's another Wenger player. You lift them off. I mean, you go back all these other players, the defenders that we bought, they're all Wenger players. So, a lot of damage was done there. But we'll see how this how Arteta does it now. Everyone is calling him King Arteta. He's already the best. I heard people comparing him to Brian Clough. Now we'll see. I don't believe it. I don't believe it yet. Not until he hasn't shown me enough yet to be compared to Brian Clough. That's for sure. So we'll see how it goes over the summer. What we do over the summer. Oh, we're in the summer now. We haven't even finished the season, have we? Jesus, yeah. So I don't know, mate. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, mate. So we move on to the forwards.
Yeah, I just want to bring this one up. Dunkno said, "Why do people discredit Torreira so much? The guy is literally our best midfielder." Listen, I personally agree with you.
He was absolutely messed about by.
Listen. We've got a super sub. We've got a super sub coming on. Super sub. He finished his business. He's got that knock on his post, and he's making a last-minute sub. And here he is. It's the Diesel. How you doing?
He first kicked him out. That's why.
I'm back. 2 seconds, darling. Wait there.
Right. Was she worth it, Diesel?
All right, you can ask her, mate. She's here. No. She can't talk in a minute, mate. She's a little tied up, if you know what I mean. But
literally.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. How are we? Stan, the man. How are you,
mate? It's been a while, isn't it, since we've virtually chatted? How's everything over with you, mate? You all right? You well?
Yeah. Now, to be honest, mate, truth be told, I've got a bit of a dodgy stomach, mate, but I'm all right. I've been watching, and it's hard to watch you boys and not be part of it. So I thought I've got to jump on. So I thought I'll let her have a little break. You know what I mean? Before round 2. And see how everyone is.
Comment here from Richard Kittle. He said, "Any news, lads, on Kenny Sampson from a Liverpool fan? Great player." The only news that I've heard is that they've arrested someone. They've arrested.
He was up and sitting up, but he's still not out of work. So I don't know where that's.
Can I just ask, because obviously being so far away, I don't get all of the news. I knew that Kenny Sampson was poorly. but I thought it was more like a health thing because of drinking. I must have got it wrong. What was he attacked or physically attacked?
I think there was some sort of altercation. Obviously, drink was involved, and which ended up him ending up in hospital. There wasn't really a lot of details that was given, to be honest, but just that it wasn't COVID-19.
Right. So what? It's like a bit of a drunk tear up, and he's come off worse, like a lot worse or something.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. It was a bit of a. They were getting on fine, but then the drink took over, and then suddenly erupted into a fight. So that does happen, by the way. That does happen.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, it happens.
Certain people, they can't handle their drink, and that's it. Bang.
Well, just before we move on to the forwards, Diesel, give us your verdict of these midfielders.
Can't wait to meet Diesel.
Oh man, you have no idea. Do you know what?
I've got my suit on.
Right, I can see it now. Right, very quickly, Granit Xhaka for me gone. Mesut Ozil gone. Joe Willock I would keep. I've seen enough to think. I think he will come good. I think he needs a bit of time. And I think a lot of the Arsenal fans, we need to sort of lay off our youngsters and give them time. But because we're in such a piss poor state, we tend to rely on them, and we think they're going to be world class, like literally today or tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. They need time. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, for me, he's gone. Don't like his attitude. He should count his blessings that he's at a club like the Arsenal. He doesn't go on like that. He tries to dictate where he wants to play. You play where you're told. End of. So for me, if you don't like that, see you later. Guendouzi, I keep saying it. If this boy was British, right, he would not get half the stick he gets. I love Guendouzi. I agree with Stan. There's a lot of work to be done there, but blimey, if we can unlock that potential, we've got a player on our hands. I would kick Guendouzi all day long. Lucas Torreira, if he doesn't want to be here, go. Right, no one's bigger than the club, in my opinion. But I wouldn't be disappointed if he stayed. Yeah. El Neni, Stan, do you know what? Again, I'm going to agree with you, right? Because he gets a lot of stick, and I don't think El Neni's great. Yeah. But you need a squad. Right? We talked to.
No. Come on, Diesel. Come on. How much have you had to drink tonight? I think we need to get the breathalyzer in. No.
Think of El Neni.
No.
You know, too much to drink. I have too much to drink tonight.
Listen. He's let go. You've let go of too many. Diesel, you let go of too many shots, didn't you?
Yeah, he didn't have a go at Stan when he said it. Eh?
If Stan said it, I'll have a go at Stan. I didn't hear Stan have a go at saying he's a squad player.
Stan loves him.
Think of El Neni as like a Grimandi kind of a player, right? It's like your Giles Grimandi. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them. He's a body. Someone gets in there.
We won't think of Grimandi.
You know what I mean? And he ain't going to complain about not getting the minutes. That's the thing. You need to have players that know their place.
Do you know what? Yeah, when you say it like that, listen, El Neni ain't great, right? You know, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I do tend to agree with Stan. He's one of them players. He'll never moan about playing time. He is a body because obviously if you look at our history, right, with injuries, yeah. Or saying that, sell him, because if we do sell him, the way I look at it, we must have a midfielder in our academy who's as good or better. Exactly. If we haven't, I'll be up there absolutely shocked, right?
I'm with Molina and Claude on that one. I don't know if you can say El Neni is a squad player at best. Ridiculous. I'll tell you what, there's time for us four to get our boots on. There's time for us four to get our boots on if El Neni and it's back on the plan for us.
You can throw
Ty. Bloody hell.
You could throw Ty in as well.
See, here's the thing for me, right, with Mikel Arteta. In like 2 seasons' time, say 1.5 or 2 seasons.
And Kelly Pittsburgh as well.
Players like Willock, you know, these young players. You know, I'll even put Pepe in there. I want to see improvement on these young players. If you can't improve our players, then we've got the wrong guy.
Yeah, do you know what? Listen, we keep on being told, yeah, and I know obviously Terry's more of an Arteta fan because I'm not. The jury for me is still out on him, Stan. The way I look at it, we're all being told that he's a class coach, and a few of the Man City players have come out and spoken about him. For me, the proof is in the pudding. We are now going to see if just how good he really is, and for me, we're going to see that next season.
I'll trust your word for that. I'll trust your word for it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
No, I'm not saying he's going to do it, Claude. I'm just saying if
listen, I'll tell you what. We'll get on to Arteta after this. Danny Ceballos quickly, Diesel.
Ceballos, I haven't seen enough to be honest. If so, for the kind of money that they're asking, I would rather use that and buy a better player. For me, we've got players in this league who I would be looking at. So no, I wouldn't keep him.
Okay, right. Let's get on to the forwards. Claude.
Oh, this is a good one there.
Forwards. We're saying Aubameyang is staying. Lacazette is going.
I told everyone in Birmingham staying.
Lacazette is going. Martinelli stays. Nelson stays. Pepe stays. Saka stays. Entekié stays. Mkhitaryan goes. Give us your verdict.
Well, my verdict from bottom to top. Mkhitaryan. Cheerio. Thank you. Thank you for turning up now and again, but thank you. And another club. Eddie Nketiah, I think, needs another loan, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether he's going to make it in the Premier League, but he could prove me wrong. He's that type of player that could prove me wrong. But give him another loan anyway. Saka definitely stays. Definitely. What are we laughing at?
Because everyone's taking the piss out of the way I say Aubameyang again.
Aubameyang.
Terry, my missus is laughing off camera.
I've got it off the king himself, Claude. He said I actually say it right.
Yeah, Aubameyang. That's it. Bakary Saka, as I say, he is one we have to treasure, and hopefully hopefully he's going to sign the contract. From what I've been told, he will be signing a contract. I think he is definitely one that's going to progress. Pepe, of course, he's showing signs to last season that just needs a bit of time. I think he'll come good. Reece Nelson, I know a lot of people say he's not there. I still think there is a player there. Given the time, given time, so I'll keep him. Martinelli, I'll definitely keep. Yeah, outstanding young talent. And I'm afraid Lacazette. Last season he was on fire, wasn't he? And this year he's lost confidence. I would have to let him go because I think he would be good. We could get a good exchange out of him. Actually, I'm sure Atletico Madrid want him. And I think we could get a good player from them. And of course, Aubameyang, we all know he's going to stay. I think, as I've been told, he's going to sign a 1-year extended deal, possibility of an extra year if we qualify for the Champions League. So, yes, definitely got to stay. So, really out of that lot, Nketiah on loan, Mkhitaryan out, and Lacazette's got to go, I'm afraid.
That's all right, Claude. Don't weren't too bad. Stan.
I think the only thing on that list that I would disagree with or have a question mark with is Eddie Nketiah and Reece Nelson. And for me, I think there's the time for loans is done. We shouldn't be thinking of putting them out on loan. But as I just touched on a moment ago, those are two players that I want to see if Mikel Arteta can improve, because I think that they've got something in there, but they need to be, coached and have more brought out of them. And this is where we're going to see if Mikel Arteta can do that. So I want them to stay and give them more of a chance and more coaching, and let's see if they can reach their potential.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Diesel.
Aubameyang, obviously, I want him to stay. If Claude's, according to Claude's sources, if he's going to stay, I'd be happy with that. I've still got this little feeling he's going to go, but I've got faith in Claude. So yeah, we'll keep it as that. So we'll stay. Lacazette, yes, I would sell him. We'd get some decent money from him as well. And obviously the money that we get from him, obviously we can use to reinvest in the squad. Martinelli, it's a no-brainer. He stays. Now, Reece Nelson didn't do enough for me this season. Nowhere near enough. But I'm going to go back to what I was saying about the Arteta being a good coach. I wouldn't loan him. I would keep him for one more season and give him one more chance to see what he does.
1 minute, Diesel. Mr. Vlogs, I'm not going to give you another chance, right? Do not dispute what I'm saying as fake news, right? Because you don't know. I know, all right? All right, thank you. We'll carry on, Diesel.
Well said, Claude. Where was I? Yeah, so Reece Nelson I would keep for another year, see what he can do. Pepe, yeah, I think next season will be his season. I think he's going to smash it, my personal opinion. Saka, all day long, stay. Nketiah, I would loan, but I would only loan him to a Premier League club, right? And Mkhitaryan, yeah, all day long. Yeah, back on the boat, mate.
Right, yeah, I can't disagree with that. Right, let's start bottom to top. Mkhitaryan, why are we still talking about him? Same as El Nini. Why are we still talking about these fucking shit players? Hey, come on. I mean, people keep moaning about Ozil being in our team, who's won World Cups and things like that. What has Mkhitaryan done? What has El Nini done? They've done nothing. They're crap. Wingers, buyers again, or bloody whoever. I don't care. Just get them out of my club. I don't want them there. All right. Nketiah, young player. I do think there's something in him. He reminds me a bit of a Gary Lineker. He's a goal poacher. And if Arteta can get something out of that from him, and he stays in the middle of the goal, I think he could be a great striker for us. Saka, no-brainer, absolutely brilliant. Playing at left back basically all this season. He's done a fantastic job, and he can only get better surely when he plays in his proper position. Nicolas Pepe, same as what everyone's been saying. Keep. I think he's going to be great next season. Hopefully with Tierney and all. Hopefully they both come along. Nelson. I'm in two minds with Nelson. We keep. I mean, how many more times are we going to say this boy has got it? He's got it, and then every time he gets a chance, he doesn't do it. So I'm in two minds whether just to cut our losses with him, try and get some money, and sell him. To be honest, I'm 50-50 on him. Martinelli, he's the future of our club. We need to tie him down to a really, really long contract, like what every other club does. And if he does ever want to go, then at least we get something out of him because he's going to be phenomenal. Lacazette, I wouldn't sell. I'll just trade him in for Partey, straight swap. Let's get it done. No mucking about. You know what I mean? He's had his time at Arsenal now. We paid 50 million for him. Listen, I like him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's rubbish, but he's not scoring goals for us. We've got Aubameyang to do that. We've got Martinelli, Pepe, Saka. You know what I mean? We've got enough up front to do that. We need a central midfielder. Madrid want him.
Hasn't scored an away goal this season either.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. So for me, straight swap for Partey and Aubameyang. We've got to keep at all costs. We've got to keep at all costs. Try and get him down for another 2 or 3 years with a guarantee in his contract that if we don't make European football or Champions League football next year, then if anyone comes in for him, the club that he wants, Real Madrid or whatever, then we will, negotiate with them. That's what I would do. Because personally, if we go out and we sell him for 40, 50 million, because I don't think anyone's going to pay more than that, to be honest. Who are we going to get out there for 40, 50 million? We're not going to get anyone to do that who's going to hit the ground running and score the goals that we desperately need at this moment in time. With this transition that we've got under Arteta too, that probably won't be able to get rid of half of the players that we want to get rid of and get the players in that he needs. So we desperately need him. Now, anyone that can't see that, for me, needs their red testing.
Yeah, well, he summed it up quite well for me. I think that's it. I think we're in agreement on a lot of these things. I still can't believe this El Neni business. I don't know what I'm missing.
Claude, I was only joking.
I wasn't. I'm not afraid to admit it. I think he's that kind of like a Grimandi player. Yeah, someone's injured, you got to stick him on. League Cup games, dead rubbers. And you need a player that's going to understand that he's not going to have all of the minutes and be happy to be used in that way. And he kind of fits the bill. Yeah, he does like to play the passes sideways a bit, but he's not terrible. And we only paid like 5 million for him.
Yeah, that bloody right. And all I said it at the time. I said, he is a 5 million player. That was a bit too much as well, I think. But anyway, yeah. For one time, I'm sorry I'm going to have to disagree with you, Stan, on that one. I'm sorry.
Well, fair enough.
Such a nice guy, and I don't like disagreeing with nice guys.
No, that's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about.
I don't mind disagreeing with that scumbag on the other channel, but I don't mind, But I'm sorry, yeah. Anyway, yeah, okay, all right.
All right, let's move on from there. Then let's have a little chat about Arteta. Then let's start with yourself, Stan. What do you think of Arteta so far? What do you think he can do with the situation that we're in coming up with maybe no transfers, or have we got money getting players in? How long would you give him, and what is the potential of Arteta for you?
I've got a couple of worries, right? Because we were told by the higher ups that we've got like a self-sustaining model. We're looking to outsmart the transfer market. We had someone like Sven Mislintat in there, who they used to call Diamond Eyes, looking for the best prospects to bring in. And you'd think that would work perfectly with a coach like Mikel Arteta, who's supposed to be into the coaching side of things, right? So you've got someone like Mikel Arteta working with the youth that we bring through the academy, and his young players like the Guendouzi's and the Martinellis of this world. And that, to me, sounded like a good model moving forward. But I'm a little bit worried now because it seems that we binned off Mislintat and we seem to be jumping into Signelli's little black book and looking at the super agents. And, we're kind of like, we're not. I get the impression that it's not so much that we're looking at the squad and going, okay, what position do we need to buy? What attributes are we looking for? That's how we should be buying players, rather than ringing up some of these agents and going, okay, right, who's on your books that could be looking for a move? And that's how it comes up, you know what I mean? We're doing it a bit backwards. So as much as I love Mikel Arteta, and he says all of the right things in the interviews that I've seen, he's very articulate. I need to see that he's going to be able to improve players. Someone like Nicolas Pepe, I want to see if he can do with Nicolas Pepe that he reportedly did with people like Sane and Sterling. And that would be fantastic. But I was a little worried because now that the season has kind of like stopped, this was his first season as a head coach. And I kind of noticed a couple of little things that he would do that I was like, okay, these are little teething problems, right? It's his first rodeo. Like, we were under the cosh a little bit in the game, and we finished the game, and we've still got 2 subs on the bench. You know what I mean? You don't keep your aces in your pocket if you've got a bad hand. Little things like that. And I thought, well, if we can get to the end of the season, he can get all of this out of the way, and then he can sit back and reflect, look back at the videos, learn from his little mistakes, and then next season we kick on. So I'm worried that because the season's not played out, that he's not going to get some things out of his system that a manager may need to get out of their system, being their first year in charge as like the head coach.
Well, okay. And my thoughts are, and I think I'm probably the only one here that's going to say this. I think his first major test, he failed. His first major real test as a coach, he's failed. Of course, he can recover from that. There's no doubt about it. I won't have all this massive improvement nonsense thrown at me either. The major test he failed was the Olympiacos game. When you're 1-0 up away from home, you've got to get that one over the line. There's no doubt about it. And there's no reason that, and when we're talking about going in Champions League, yet we can't even hold a 1-goal lead from away from home, going into home leg against a team that were not good enough in the Champions League group stage. So for me, there's got to be an improvement there. Doesn't mean he can't improve. No, of course he can. He could become a great manager, but time will tell. At the moment, I think the hype over him is a bit over the top. I hear fans comparing him to Brian Clough. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's criminal to even start comparing him to him, because about 6 months ago he was putting out codes, and now, as far as I'm concerned, now he's got a lot to learn, and we will see in the next few months whether he can do the business. That's how I stand it.
Okay, fair enough. Diesel.
I said I'll top that. Right, see, there's not many things that Terry and I disagree on. The Arteta thing is and Ozil, probably two of the things. I didn't want Arteta as it wasn't my first choice, and truth be told, guys, he wasn't in my top 5. To me, there's a big difference between a very good coach and a manager. Big difference, right? Very, very rare. You get the two combined and it works. Very rare. But he's here, right? So obviously I'll get behind him, you know. The two things that worry me, and I do agree with Claude, I think that I've seen a lot of fans raving about Arteta. My argument is Arteta's done things that if Emery had done those things, there'd be an absolute meltdown. Arteta begging Xhaka to stay when he had a perfect opportunity to get rid of him.
Yeah.
For me, that's a massive question mark. Massive question mark. Again, like I would say, if that was Emery, oh my God, it would have been World War II, right? The second thing, and this is from my opinion, I know you guys won't agree, Stan, I know you will, but he constantly plays Ozil, and the man adds nothing. Game by game, you know, we all hear about, obviously they used to play together and their mates. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, when he come in and said all players have got a clean slate, why have they got a clean slate, right? I'm sorry, no, not for me. I'd look at Arteta, and what annoyed me as well about a lot of the Arsenal fans is that very first press conference he done. He said some lovely words, really nice, right? And Arsenal fans were like, oh my God, I'm sold. He's the man. Yes, this is what, you know, for me, the proof is in the pudding. Do you know what I'm saying? I can get up there and give a Winston Churchill speech, right? It's what I do on the football pitch, right? That counts. Yeah, so let's wait and see what he does, right? I've said it a few times on here. Give Arteta a blank canvas. I reckon he could do something. But for me, I personally think he's got one arm tied behind his back, right? With a club like this. And also, as much as we knock Arsene Wenger, Arsene Wenger signed a lot of players based on his name because his reputation in football, right? You know, there's a lot of players who came here purely to play for Arsene Wenger, right? And I wanted an elite manager because a lot of players, right, will sign for clubs based on the manager. Has Arteta got that pull? Personally, I don't know. I don't think so. But we will see. But if he's as good a coach as what people are saying, as much as we don't rate these players, right, they're still Premiership players. You know, surely he's got to be able to, like, you know, do something with these players here. But then we've seen, you know, the past 3 managers can't. What makes you think Arteta can? You know, that's my personal opinion. But he needs another season. I don't think we're going to get as much money as what we possibly were. So for me, his coaching credentials are going to be even more important now. So yeah, you know, judge him the next season, see what he does. But
can I add something here?
He doesn't come across to me as ruthless. He doesn't. And that is exactly what we need. We need a Simeone. We need someone who's going to take no shit. And I don't think he's that man, personally.
Can I add something to that as well, please? I read earlier on in the week the story from Unai Emery. He really went to the board and petitioned them. He said, "Right, this is the man that I want, is Zaha. I want this guy for these reasons." Yeah, and this was before Emery was under fire and there was any talk about him getting fired. And what did the board do? They turned around and provided him with Nicolas Pepe. Now, my biggest fear is that Mikel Arteta is going to get put in the same position, that he's going to identify players that he wants, that he believes can improve the squad. But we've got a board now that they've got away with it with Emery, and they think that, well, we know best. We'll get you the player for that position, but we're going to get you the player that is on the list of a certain agent or a player that we may have good relationships with. And if it's going to play out like that, then we're fucked big time, because that ain't going to work. Do you know what I mean? That ain't going to work. Mikel Arteta needs to be able to bring in the people that he wants and not be dictated to, just be given the tools to work with. But going back, a while back now, this is why he now has the title head coach and not manager. Maybe this is how it's going to be. Maybe he has to work with the tools that he's being given.
And that is my point, as what I was just going to come on to. I think this director of football business that we've got at the moment is wrecking us. I thought it was going to be a good thing when it come in. I was wrong. I don't think it helps. I think the manager and coach, he's number two, should have complete control of the players they have to bring into the football club. I don't. What we've got here at the moment is two people who are not great knowledge on football deciding what players are coming in. Like, we've got a guy who's more, who's very into big agents, as you say, Terry, and there's a guy who's just an accountant beside him. So I think this is where I think we need to change things. I think maybe the coach and manager should have complete control of the players that come into the football club.
Look, for me, I've listened to all three of you. My point of view is it doesn't matter, right? What Diesel said, that we should have got an elite manager in because that pulls the players in. It doesn't matter with Arsenal. If we haven't got the money and we haven't got the people upstairs that are doing their right job, it doesn't matter what manager's in there. Let's be honest, right? It doesn't matter what manager's in there. With regard to this is what I don't understand, right? Most fans wanted Jose Mourinho. Right? Most fans wanted Jose Mourinho. Right? I'm going to show you now the league table.
Right.
Let me show you the league table, right? Tottenham, Jose Mourinho went in before Arteta took over Arsenal. Carlo Ancelotti went in the same time as Arteta. Now, on paper, the first team, Tottenham's first team and Everton's first team, I think everyone would agree it's a much better team on paper than what Arsenal got on paper.
Yeah, but hold on, Terry.
Hold on.
Yeah, before you go on, you're not putting another point across here. They are missing the two top players in their team. If you took Aubameyang,
they weren't when they took over.
If you took Aubameyang and say our goalkeeper, for example, we would be in the bottom five of the Premier League. Never mind. But that's what I'm trying to say. There's a different circumstances. Tottenham have come in. Mourinho's come into a club, right, where the players. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened with the players. Their confidence went. I don't know what happened. But he come into the club, and as soon as he's come into the club, he's lost two top players. And I'm not being funny. You cannot, please do not compare Arteta, please, with Mourinho.
No, I'm not comparing him. Look, if you listen and let me just get my point of view across first, right? Listen, look, you're saying about he's had his two top players. Let's be honest, we've had our whole defence out this season. All season, we've had them out. Literally, one comes back, they break their leg, and they're out again for the whole season. It's literally happened to all our defenders, our fullbacks.
They're all crap.
No, but I'm just saying we have had a whole back four out. We've had a whole back four out all at once, right?
Well, to be honest, the only one we've missed, really, if you're going to be honest with it, because they're all the same.
I'm not saying that they're
it's Tierney, and even then, we've Saka's done a good job when he's come in. Yeah, it's the only one we've really missed, and the others you could all throw them in together. They're all crap.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that exactly. They're all
playing midfielders as fullbacks.
Hold on. All you're doing is making my argument stronger, Claude.
No, it's not stronger because the reason we've got through these games is because we've had Aubameyang. If it weren't for Aubameyang, we wouldn't even be unbeaten in all this unbeaten in the league. We are. We were this season. We didn't have Aubameyang as grounded us out of games.
Yeah, Tottenham had Son.
We've been shocking. West Ham, Everton, right? Everton, West Ham. We were shocking. But
we was.
Our top players got us out of trouble. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm not knocking Arteta, but please.
I'm not listening.
We're not comparing him with Mourinho because Mourinho's record stands out.
Listen,
right?
I'm not doing that with Mourinho. I'm just pointing out something and stating it, which is facts. Right? It's facts. It's there in front of us. Mourinho come in before Arteta took over. Ancelotti come in the same time as Arteta. Both teams on paper, their first teams, if you look at it, are much better than ours. I think we would all agree with that, right? Arteta's only had 10, 11 games. We've had 10, 11 games. That's all we've had. And yet we're writing him off already, basically.
If you compare the salaries of our players and the Tottenham players, I think you'll find our salaries are a bit higher.
But that's not down to Arteta.
But that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's not down to Arteta. That's not down to Mourinho. That's not down to Ancelotti, right? They've only been dealt the cards that they've got, which is fair enough. Yeah, at the moment, Arteta's had 10, 11 games. This year, we haven't lost, apart from that one game in Europe, which, yes, I agree with. He totally fucked up. But was it him that fucked up, or was it the players on the pitch that fucked up? That's all I kept hearing about Emery. Players down tools. It wasn't Emery's fault that players down tools. He sent the players out to win that game. And they fucked up. The defenders fucked up, and the midfielders fucked up. You can't have the argument go for you on one side, but not on the other side.
But could you imagine, though, if under Emery, and let's say when Arteta took over, Aubameyang and Leno are both out injured at the same time. We would be in fucking shit street right now, man, if both of those players were injured.
Don't forget, Tottenham's got Son, who contributes and scores goals. We've got Lacazette. We've got Lacazette.
Both of them have been.
Yeah, but I mean, hold up. We've got Lacazette, who we paid £50 million for to score us goals with a striker who hasn't done that.
Yeah, but you can't compare Lacazette to Son. I'm sorry.
I'm just giving you examples of what, the two difference. You know what I mean? You're saying that if Aubameyang was out, Son's over.
There's a lot of games in the league, right, where we've been getting away with murder, right? And everyone's going about unbeaten and all this, right? A lot of them games, right, if you're being honest, we've been shit and we deserve to lose. We've deserved to lose the game, yeah?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Aubameyang has got us out of shit. Now, I'm telling you now, if we had no Aubameyang, and we had no, especially the goalkeepers kept us in games a lot, although he was shocked. He made a shocking mistake in the European game. But even the goalkeeper, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we had these two key players out? We wouldn't be up there. We'd be struggling, mate.
No, we'd be struggling. And why would we be struggling? Because
I'm not having a go at Arteta. I'm not saying he's shit.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are, mate.
Hype that everyone is going on about, yeah?
But don't forget, Claude. Don't forget.
What Mourinho's done, right, is a bit harsh. Because if Mourinho had a full deck of cards, we'd probably see a better Mourinho. And let's be honest, right? Mourinho has pulled out the trophies. He's pulled the trophy. This guy has just come in, right? He's been under Guardiola. Great. He might have learned a lot under Guardiola. Yeah, good. And he may become the greatest manager ever. But let's not, like this fan base is doing at this moment, build a guy up so fucking much that you start comparing him to people like Brian Clough.
I've never, ever. I'm not
talking about you. I'm talking about you, Terry. I'm not talking about you, Terry.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
Stay off the high grade.
I'm talking about these people. I'm talking about all these people on Twitter at the moment.
Yeah.
They see a little bit of recovery. I'm so happy to have him. I'm so happy I can't. I heard judges the other day. Lead judges, right? He's going on as if he's going, we're so lucky to have him. And if he goes and we don't back him and he can go to another club and he'll make it great there. Well, what evidence have you got to say all this shit? Stop playing.
Yeah, but that's the same. That's the same.
These people are playing to the crowd. They're not saying what they really think.
But
I'm
that's
on it.
You can say the
people on social media that says it as it is.
Yeah.
I'm not here to talk. I'm not here to listen to the fucking masses. What the masses want. I'll say what I feel.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Perfect. That's perfect. That's what I mean.
I don't disagree with you, Terry. I think he could become a great coach. But let's not back him up too quickly. And let's not pair him with Mourinho, because Mourinho, it'd be harsh on Mourinho because he's not had a full stack of cards.
All I'm saying is, right, for me, is that I truly do believe in Arteta. I have done. Diesel, Claude, you know this thing. I said it from the beginning, right? I said it from the beginning. That's who I wanted, right? I said all this last season when we was on a 22-game unbeaten run under Emery, and I was going there like you, Claude, and I was watching them games, and I'm thinking, how the fucking hell did we win these games? How did we win them? Because we was absolutely diabolical. We was diabolical. But everyone
hated him last year.
Every Arsenal fan was saying, we're going to win the league, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Yeah, we got our
and all these fans, most of these fans that keep saying Arteta shit, he should never have been here. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. They're the ones that were saying we should keep Emery until Christmas. We should wait until Tierney comes back. We should wait until Bellerin comes back. We should do this and do that. And now they're turning their back on Arteta, who's only been there for 10, 12 games.
It's like that joker on the other channel. I don't want to mention his name. That joker on the other channel said, I was the first to want Emery out. I was the first. Yeah, when it was on the football terrace in September before the Tottenham game, he said, when I said I wanted Emery out in Baku, he said, oh, don't put me in part of that. Don't put me on part of that. It's got a short memory. It's got a short memory. These people don't know what they're saying. Rubbish.
Can I say something? Right, you touched on something a minute ago about Son and Lacazette. Here's the thing: you said, you said that Son, you can't compare Son to Lacazette, and that's I think where one of the problems is for the amount of money that we paid for Lacazette.
Exactly.
I think Arsenal fans are pissed off that we should be able to be comparing Lacazette to Son, and the fact that we're not able to do that on the back of shelling out 55 million euros. Is the disappointing thing. And as Claude said, the guy can't nick a goal away from home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should.
I don't blame Arteta, but the reason Arteta's in the club at that moment, right? And it might turn out to be great. The reason he's in there is because people like Raul and Vinay can control him. Yeah. They won't have any back chat from him. And the same with Emery. They won't have any back until it's too fucking late. Now, Emery's now talking now when it's too fucking late. Yeah? But that's the reason these people are in. That's why we haven't got an elite manager in. It's because we got the director of football. I'd get rid of this shambles of director of football. Get rid of them. And get people that know the football, they know the game, get the right coaches in and let them decide what players they want. Because they're football people. These are not football people. Raul is not a football person. What is Raul? I'll tell you what, Raul, he's there to make money out of his agent. There we are. don't like it. People don't like what I'm going to say. It's too bad. It's too bad.
No, listen, you're only saying what you believe in, Claude, and that's right. Diesel, do you want to say anything, mate?
No, listen, mate. Look, I'll be honest. I wanted Mourinho. Like my all-time dream manager is Simeone, right? But that's never going to happen. So I would have taken Mourinho. And truth be told, guys, I know it's going to be controversial. If I had a chance of getting Mourinho tomorrow, I'd do it all day long. I would. I love the man. Right. The issue is what people are saying is the same Arsenal fans who are saying we need to give Arteta time are the same Arsenal fans who are mocking Mourinho for what he's doing at Spurs. Well, he only started a week or two before Arteta. So if we're meant to give Arteta time, why can't Mourinho get time? You know, and it's got to work both ways. I'm similar to Claude in the sense that I'm not going to be. A lot of Arsenal fans loved Arteta because of obviously of what a few Manchester City players said about his coaching ability. I'm not like that. I'm all about the CV. I'm all about what have you done in your past? What have you done at previous clubs? And people will knock Mourinho. The man's a winner. He's a winner. I don't care what anyone says. He's a winner. You cannot knock his CV, right? I think the issue.
Can I ask, Diesel, would you have wanted Mourinho then if we had an opportunity? Would you have been happy to have got Mourinho in when all that was happening about looking for a manager?
I'll take Mourinho tomorrow, Stan. I would take him tomorrow.
Yeah, I would. Never.
But then, Stan, there's a lot of Arsenal players. There's a lot of Arsenal fans, right? Even when Ancelotti, right, was mentioned, there was a lot of Arsenal fans going around saying, "No, he's finished. He flopped at Napoli." But then the previous 10, 15 clubs he's been at, he's been a success because he flopped at one. So what do we do? Do we dismiss the previous 10, 14 clubs he was at and just look at his last one? Mourinho's problem is Mourinho's a manager, right? He's still one of those old school managers. He's not a head coach, right? We're now in the world that we're in now. I mean, I love George Graham. I don't think George Graham would last in this new world now, where you know you're not the manager. You know, Arsene Wenger had all the power here, right? Those days are gone, right? You're very much a puppet now, right? It's all about the people behind you. Do you know what I'm saying? Who is buying the players at Arsenal? Is it Arteta? Is it Raul? Is it Edu? We don't know.
I just think though at that particular time, what we really needed was for someone to come in and really bring the club and the players together. And you know what? Mourinho would have come in and he would have probably been able to have pulled that off for about 3 weeks, but then the cracks would start. I would rather have muddled on with Emery.
No. Stan, even say that. I want to stop you there.
No, I would. Mourinho is fire, mate. He's toxic. Do you know what I'm getting at?
I agree with you with Mourinho.
If I had a daughter and she came home with Jose Mourinho, I'm telling you, I'd rather she came home with another bird or something or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Mourinho's bad news. He's bad news. He's gonna burn it all down.
I'd say that.
Right. So this is the problem, right? Right. Stan's saying, we need a manager to come in and get these players together. Why? These players are together, right? We see it on the pictures. They are together. We need a ruthless manager who's going to come in and shake this bloody club up. Right, we need a manager, to come in and say to these players, sit them down, and say, look, you've been comfortable, right, for God knows how long, right? No more of that now, right? You come to work, right? Mourinho would have done that. Mourinho is a winner.
But Arteta is doing that.
Why are you doing it at Tottenham?
Hold on, but Mikel Arteta is doing that. Hold on, you can't tell me
to be honest, Terry, Has Arteta done actually much more than Mourinho at the moment? To be honest, let's be honest.
Listen, hold up.
They're in front of us in the league. We're
only by a point, and we've got a game in hand. Only by a point, and we've got a game in hand.
Yeah, we know with that game in hand. Yeah, but I know. But are they that much? Are we much better off than Spurs at the moment?
Hold up. Let me just get this 2 points out. First of all, I've got 3 or 4 Tottenham mates. Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 Tottenham mates who would turn around to us now and say they'd give us Mourinho. They hate him. They hate him there. They can't stand him. No. I don't hardly know any Tottenham fans that actually want Mourinho as their manager. If there are any,
we'll ask Sam tomorrow.
Hold up. If there are any out there, let us know. Because honestly, I've got 3 or 4 that can't stand him. Right? And because of what he's doing already at Tottenham now, he's breaking all the players up. He's breaking them up. Like you said, it's okay coming in, Diesel, and creating an earthquake. But then once you create that earthquake, can you get them back? Can you get them to come round?
How's he breaking them up, though? How is he breaking them up?
I don't really care, to be honest. I'm only telling you what I've been told.
What I'm saying, right? If Emery, right, had begged Xhaka to stay, right, and you and me, right, we both can't stand him as a player, right? If Emery had done that, me and you, right, would be spitting blood on this channel right now. But because Arteta does it, nothing gets said. Why?
But Arteta's got to go to another window, right? How do you not know? What's Mikel Arteta supposed to say? Is he supposed to come in and say, "Yeah, I'm fucking Xhaka, he's shit"?
He wanted to go. What an opportunity! He wanted to go.
Around players, he's making them feel important. But I reckon he's really secretly ruthless. I reckon when the window opens,
manager, or is he like?
Thanks, yeah.
Is he
a manager, or is he like a guidance counsellor or something?
Thank you for the super chat. Cheers, guys. Let's keep grilling. Keep up the
great work. Keep these players sweet. Got to keep them happy. No.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles has not been. Like Ainsley Maitland-Niles has been turning up.
Finger done that.
Yeah,
we'll ask Sam tomorrow. We'll ask Sam. Sam Kipnick is coming on tomorrow. We'll ask Sam what he thinks of Mourinho tomorrow. But at the end of the day, I don't think you're going about Mourinho and Arteta. I can't see between the two. There's nothing in it as what they've done this season. So.
No, but listen. What I can't understand is that if Jose Mourinho was our manager now, and he's done exactly the same as what Arteta's done, everyone will be saying, "Oh, well, he ain't done that bad, is he?" You know what I mean? Look at the team he's got. He didn't have these teams. He didn't have these players. He ain't these players. Look at his CV. Look what Mourinho.
We'll never know. We'll never know how he would have done.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
He might be still in the top 4 and still in the Europa League if Mourinho was here. We don't know.
Stan, how can we judge Mourinho after the amount of games he's had, right? But yet we can't judge Arteta when Mourinho literally got to Spurs, a week or two before Arteta. I'm asking you that.
I'll answer that question. For me, Mikel Arteta has not been wrapping the players up in cotton wool. He has been firm and ruthless. Players like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, they turn up late for training. They're nowhere near the team. Guendouzi, when they went over to Dubai and he fucked up over there, he got him out of the team. The difference is, right, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And Mikel Arteta has a better way of saying it than Mourinho. They're both ruthless, right? But Mourinho is a bit of a wanker.
Ozil's playing every week, Stan.
He alienates players. There's a way of alienating players, whereas Mikel Arteta hasn't been soft-soaping it. Are you telling me that Mikel Arteta has been soft? He's laid down the law. He's making them do their homework when they're away from the pitch. He's taken players out of the squad when he's seen any cases of ill discipline. But it's not how he's done it, what he saw. It's not what he said. It's how he said it. He's done it in a nicer way. Do you know what I'm getting at? Mourinho, he goes in far too heavy. He alienates players. And then when he needs those players, he can't bring them back in because they fucking got up with him.
But the thing is, look what he done at United. Why didn't he do it at United? United are one of the best clubs in the world. Why didn't he win the league or do anything with United?
He got that team to second, right? That side he had was worse than the team we've got right now, and he got that to second. And for a man to come out and say, that's my greatest achievement, right? And at the time, we all thought, what's he on about? And it's only now we see it. It's only now, right? I can see what he meant. Mourinho getting Man United second place.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There you go, for a team like that.
There you go. Exactly. Danny, Spurs fan here, have to agree with Terry.
Yeah, but Dan, if he wins you a trophy, right, next season, are you gonna still say that?
Yeah.
Right? You're all still hung up on Poch. That's the reason, truth be told. That's what it is. They're still hung up on Poch.
Put Gio's comments.
A lot of Arsenal fans
says stand
man, your abilities, complimenting your shirt. You know that shirt you've got, Stan? Is that the original one, isn't it?
I'll tell you a story about this shirt, right? When it was coming back out, I was thinking, I wouldn't mind getting one of these. So I went and looked online, and I could find original ones for about £300-400.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that Adidas brought out. I don't know if you've noticed it, but the badge and the Adidas thing are really close together than the original one, and the print is kind of sideways. When I was talking to my mate about this in London on like WhatsApp, he went onto eBay and he found this one with the proper measurements, the prints right, £35 plus £15 postage and packaging. So it's even cheaper than the one that Adidas brought out, but it says Adidas. It looks, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm happy with it.
But it's the gun on the old way.
Yeah. Everything is like the original. Because if you look at pictures of the Adidas one and pictures of the players, the print is kind of a little bit sideways, like it's not flush like mine is. You see the way that the print is like symmetrical.
Yeah,
like a really weird way.
The original ones are worth about £300-400.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was trying to see what Colonel Ward was going on about. What's that about?
I do have a Patrick Vieira shirt, though. That was
by the way, as for blogs, don't come in my chat and go in the other one and stir trouble. All right? Don't come in my chat and stir trouble in the other chat. That's it. Right, let's go. Carry on.
Right.
I think with keeping an eye on him. At Arsenal vlogs, I'm keeping an eye on him, actually.
Yeah, I was just trying to say, look, at the end of the day, he's had, for me, just summing up, he's had 12 games. We've had 12 games with him. These are not his players. He's inherited this team, basically. We've brought a couple of players in. Yeah, all right, we didn't want them. I agree with that. It's not a problem. Do you know what I mean? Let's wait until he's had a season, he's picked his players that he wants, and then we can judge him by then. That's all. That's
question. Diesel, can I ask a question, mate? You know, like Wenger, right? That how long he was with us, right? It's fair to say that with Arsene Wenger's like tenure over Arsenal, he could kind of split it in two halves, right? Where the beginning was really, really, really good, and in the end, yes, we did have some cups along the way, but there is a sense that there's underachievement. Do you think that it could be a case, though, that someone like Mourinho, who's been in the game as long as he has, could be maybe going through a similar thing, whereas he's now coming into a part of his career where he may not have that kind of touch that he used to have, like when we first saw him at Chelsea? Because I'd agree with you, right? When he came into Chelsea the first time round, he was like a breath of fresh air, wasn't he? I thought so. I thought this guy's got it going on. But then when he saw him later on, when he came back and at Man United, he kind of looked more like Louis van Gaal than a Mourinho. You know, he looked haggard, tired. His attitude, the fun, the cheekiness had gone a little bit out of his personality, and he does seem to sort of like leave clubs on fire now when he leaves.
No, I get that. I think, if I'm honest, I think he never fully recovered from what happened at Real Madrid. And I think that's where it turned for him. My opinion, Stan, is that I still think he's a top manager. I just think the way football is now, with the player power that there is, and obviously a lot of the meddling from the guys upstairs, he's probably finished now. He's on his way out. I think if he went to a club where he had the full control, like how he has in the past, I think he'd do stuff. He's a winner. He's you know, he's a serial winner. You know, you can't knock his CV. And like, as Terry said about Arteta, I totally agree. He needs a season because he's not got his players. But I would also say Mourinho's not got his. You know, so I think they both started at more or less the same time. So I think if we can't judge Arteta, then for me we can't judge Mourinho.
I'm not saying we can't judge Arteta. I'm just saying if you look at the table. Right, anyone would think let's not look at the table. The way we talk about Arteta is that we've been crap here, we've been crap there, we've been rubbish here, we've been rubbish there. Anyone would think we're bottom of the table. but we're literally 1 point with a game in hand behind Jose Mourinho, who we could have got, who has got a better team on paper, first team on paper than what we have. And have they done any better? No, they haven't. I mean, they should be miles ahead of us. With, like you're saying, the CV that he's got, the team that he's had, you know what I mean? They should be miles ahead of us.
Yeah, but in saying that, again, it goes down to, you know, similar time there. I mean, like when he went to Spurs were below us. They're now above us, albeit a point. They're still above us. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's done something there, right? You know, albeit he's not had his players, you know, the players he wants. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a top manager. All I am saying is that when it was and this is Phil, you know, this is true about, you know, Arteta obviously begging Xhaka to stay. My only argument is, well, what's good for the goose must be good for the gander tail. Do you know what I mean? So if that was Emery who would have done that, he would have been lynched. But because Arteta does it, nothing gets said.
Hard code.
Can I
I don't want to know about Arsenal realist, and whatever he's saying or doing, we don't care about. Listen,
I know what he's talking about. He's been on another channel, which I just noticed was on at the same time as us. And yeah, if he said anything about it, too bad. Listen, I ain't got no interest, mate. If you worry about some guy that's got the one man and his dog fucking watches, yeah, then you've got a bigger problem than me, mate. So I couldn't give a shit. And also, there's a certain other guy on that channel tonight who said he's very loyal to me. Can piss off as well. He won't be playing for my team next season. That's for sure. Right, let's go.
I personally don't rate Jose nowadays, in my opinion. Oh, where did that go? Players have too much power now and have become weak, and that's when it's Jose's fault, Molina. So, listen, I think at the end of the day, right, to end this conversation, we're all going to have our, you know what I mean, our reservations about Arteta. Me personally, you know, I do believe that he can be a fantastic manager for us. You know, we just got to give him time. I do think that he was under Pep for 3 years, learning his trade. You've got to start somewhere. Why can't it be with us? Why can't it be with us?
I don't actually think that Tottenham squad is streets ahead of Arsenal squad, by the way, at all. Both teams have got one or two players that can make a difference, but they're both very average teams.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Same as Everton, Carlo Ancelotti. You know what I mean? People wanted him as our manager too. What's he done? Look what he's done for Everton. Nothing.
Can't tell. He's just got there, man. Come on.
He's the same time as Arteta. That's what I'm saying. He's the same. He come in the same day as Arteta. But yet we're saying Arteta is so bad, and Ancelotti is what? We got to give him time. He's only just got there. We've got to let him have his.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. All three of them, if we're talking about all three of them, you can't judge any of them really because they haven't got their players in. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know, I get that. And all this about, and obviously not you, Tel, but I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter and a lot of Arsenal fans in general, you know, saying, are we going to back Arteta? Are the fans going to forget all that? I want to know, are the board going to back him, right? Forget the fans, right, for a moment. Forget the fans. Are the board going to back him? Because if they don't, Terry, it doesn't matter if it's him, Guardiola, whoever else, right?
Yeah.
They're going to flop.
Yeah.
Fact. You know,
Arteta says all the right things in his interviews. He says all the right things, but as Diesel says, if he's not backed by the board, then those words mean nothing.
No, I totally agree with that. Right, listen, boys, we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. 50 minutes. So if you want, if you got to go, Stan, or if you got 5-10 minutes.
Mate, it's lockdown. I ain't going anywhere.
Right,
Come on, Stan.
We'll have 10 minutes more of questions.
Mate, you're keeping me from under my missus's feet right now. She's loving it. She's like, don't stop.
We'll have 10 more minutes of questions if anyone's got any questions. So fire away. Let's see what we've got. Danny put, we showed without Kane and Son, we are average.
Can I ask you guys a question that's been on my mind for a little while? I've been thinking about
there's an informed player there, Martinelli, right, being dropped against him. And that's another thing you've got to look at as well. If that was Emery that done it, everyone would have done that. And I couldn't stand Emery. Anyway.
Just before you ask that, Stan, we've just got a super chat here from Gio. Claude, best Azzurri manager, Sacchi, Lippi, Capello or Ancelotti?
Enrico Sacchi's a legend, isn't he? Lippi's another legend, won the World Cup with Italy.
They're all legends. Yeah.
They're all great managers. Capello didn't do too good in the England job, but then again, you can only work with what you got. And Ancelotti, I like Ancelotti, but I think that Everton job, I don't know whether he's taken that. I think he should have got a bigger job than that. But I think he'll do well at Everton. I really do. Given time, he'll do well. Now, for me, it's got to be Enrico Sacchi.
Okay. Just before Stan, sorry, just quickly, I like this one. The Arsenal podcast says, Stan, what's the lockdown laughing me ass off? Asking for a UK politician. Go on, Stan. What were you going to ask, mate?
I just wondered, guys. We seem to have we seem to put a lot of effort into our youth and our academy. But I mean, the last defender that I can remember that we brought through the academy, not a young one that we actually paid money for, that we brought through was, the last one I can remember was Ashley Cole. What do you think the problem is there? Why is it that we seem unable to bring through young defenders, whether it's centre-backs and full-backs? I mean, who's playing in defence for the youth team when they're under 23? Is there no one there that's almost ready to kind of make a step up?
Is it just
how he brings his, because we have got a lot of good young players there.
Is it just defenders? When was the last time we brought a player through our academy that was really good?
Well, we seem to have, but every time a player comes through, whether they're good or not, but ones that they get a bit of a chance, right? They always seem to be midfielders or attacking forwards.
Got to be Ashley Cole.
The last defender that was, playing in the League Cup, maybe going out on a loan, he'd come through the academy, had a couple of appearances. The last one I remember is Ashley Cole, unless I forgot someone.
Yeah. I mean, truly world-class player he was, wasn't he? He was a truly world-class player.
I'll take your point though, Stan, because we went two years and a bit without a regular right back.
Yeah.
My argument was, well, so who's there right back in the under 23s or the under 18s? Who plays in that position that we can promote?
Exactly.
Fast track into the first team, right? Alternatively, again, you look on the left-hand side, right? And do you know what? No one really talks about this, right? But even I'll go back further when we got Jens Lehmann out of retirement, right, to fill in the goal. So you're telling me we've not got a goalkeeper, a decent young goalkeeper, young and hungry, right, who we can come up. Now, what that tells me is if I was a young player in the reserves at Arsenal and you're getting a player out of retirement,
Gibbs,
then as far as I'm concerned, you don't rate me. Therefore, do you know what? See ya, I'm gone.
Yeah,
that's what I would say. No doubt we got players down there, but academies are now they're just it's money, isn't it? I look at Chelsea's academy and I'm a little bit jealous because their academy's brilliant.
But I mean, even in the League Cup, I mean, we don't even see a young guy coming up for the League Cup games. I mean, the two names that I remember hearing for a while, there was that Zach Medley, who I used to hear about, and there was that other guy with the really long name, Peglo or whatever his name was,
Julio.
But then, do you remember we bought that left back from? He was up from 3 or 4 divisions down. His name was Cohen Bramall.
Yeah.
And then he kind of he just disappeared. He was supposed to be a left back, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think we picked him up for something like 50 grand or something. It was so cheap, wasn't it? Meant to be the next Ashley Cole, but again, like you say.
Do you think that it's because when Wenger came in, he had that back 5, if you count Steve Bold in there as well, plus a goalkeeper? That's an area that's kind of gone by the way, because we seem to be a team, many years ago when I was younger, that we would put a lot of stock into finding good defenders, that our teams were kind of built from the defence up. And Wenger kind of came in and was in such a great position to have all of those players in place, like he did. You know, that played together for so long, and he did add to it, like Sol Campbell, you know, Colo, Loren. You know, we've had some other good ones that have come in along the way, but it just seems that the defence has kind of got forgotten almost for me, and all the focus is on midfielders and attacking forwards.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
And that was from Wenger's era.
Yeah. Mickey Smith here said, who will finish top 4 next season? That's a good question. Let's start with you, Stan.
Well, are we saying that Man City's not qualifying? They're getting sanctioned or what have you?
No, that's in Europe anyway, isn't it? In the league next season. Who will finish top?
Sorry. Yeah.
We ain't finished this one yet.
I would say, well, Liverpool, Manchester City, and then it gets a little bit murky for me. The next couple of positions where we are at the league, it could go any way, but I don't know. The next 2 positions for me are very difficult to call because there's a chance that we could even sneak into a top 5 position, right? And maybe just miss out on top 4 by a couple of points if we pulled our socks up. You've got teams like Wolves, which are doing exceptionally well, and Sheffield as well, but they're so small. You know, if they're not all firing and this break has, you know, killed their momentum, teams like those two could really suffer. And then you've got Leicester that you could throw into the mix as well. You know, Man United for me, I'm not so sure. They still seem to be a little bit of a way off. And Chelsea, they really started well under Frank, but I was actually thinking that had the league continued, I think Chelsea would have started to drop away near the end and run out of a little bit of steam, just because they got a little bit of a lack of depth.
Okay, Diesel.
Liverpool, Man City. I think those two are just givens, aren't they? I would go. So right, Liverpool, Man City. I would.
It's tricky, isn't it?
I'll take a punt. I would. Man United, I think will. Because they'll simply buy their way in there. Do you know what? I can see Chelsea doing it. They've got Ziyech coming. Yeah, obviously they've got money to burn as well. I think Chelsea would do it. We won't. Know that for a fact. So yeah, those 4, unfortunately.
Sorry, was we talking about making top 4 for this season, or were we talking about in the next season?
Next season.
Oh, right. Okay. I was talking about this season. Okay, yeah. Right. Then, yeah, sorry.
He's got some changes to make.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it, but Diesel's just actually all the 4 teams I'm pulling out. The 2 matches.
Great minds.
Liverpool and Chelsea for me.
Yeah, on the back of saying it's next season, I'd agree with the lads here. Yeah, they'd be the top 4 for me as well.
I mean, for me, you got Liverpool and City without a shadow of doubt. They're going to be first and second. And then for me, it's going to be a scramble. To be honest, I think it could be quite a big scramble. You got Chelsea, that's going to be in there. Man United, Leicester. I don't think Wolves and Sheffield United will be
season. No.
I just don't think they will. They'll be in the top 10, but I don't think they'll be pushing. Personally.
Hold on, lads. We've not said Newcastle, right? Newcastle
could come on to them,
right? Next season.
I was just about to come on to them.
When they turn out for their first match with Mbappe and Haaland up front for them.
Neymar on the bench.
Much
that won't happen. Do you know why that won't happen? Because FFP. Well, that's all we're talking about. That's all Arsenal fans will talk about. But no other club talks about it. We've got Gio said, Diesel, where is the baldy today?
Me and Stan, come on, real ones, hey? And Claude.
Terry's almost joining us.
I've still got Bobby Charlton. It's all balled under here, look. Right, boys. That's it for tonight. I think we've been going for 2 hours. So let me just quickly say before we finish up, We will be going live tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for our review, the Premier League. We have got Sam Chippett for our Spurs representative. We've got who's it? Jack, I think, for the Newcastle one, and we've got Tony Rolfe for the Chelsea one. So we've got Chelsea, Tottenham, and Newcastle, as well as myself, Diesel, and Claude. So that should be a great show. Everyone come over and tune to that. We'll be live on YouTube and also OpMic. So if you haven't downloaded OpMic yet, please go over to Apple Play Store or Google Play Store. Download the app, put in our code CBS301, and then you'll be signed up to our channel. It's all free. And once we do watch-alongs, which we've done a couple, well, 3 now we're done. They're great fun. You can hook your app up to the TV or the laptop, whatever you're watching the game on, and you'll be able to hear our commentary through your TV instead of boring old McManaman, Michael Owen, Shearer, Lineker, all them boring old people. You know what I mean? So you'll be able to listen to us. So please, whatever you do, go and download that. And look, we can't emphasize this enough. We really need you to do us one big favor, and that is just like our videos and share them. The more you do that, the more it will drive our channel up, and we can do more things. We've got a couple of other big things that we're working on in the background, which will be, as Diesel said, need to get to 50 likes, guys. Come on, please help us out.
Apologies for the spelling mistake. Let's get to 50. We're currently on 41, 62 people watching. Can we bang the likes now?
Diesel, is that we need to get 50 bikes in? Is that?
Yeah. I'm slacking this week, lads. I'm slacking.
The bike is the one that's behind him in the
I was just about to say, how many notches do you want on your bed, Diesel?
50 plus.
Never enough, mate. Listen, there'll be a time where I can't get them, mate. I've got to make it count. I'm saying, I don't know why Claude's moaning, because when I'm done with him, I'll send him his way. he's getting his little bit annoyed, mate. Don't worry about that.
Oh, wait. I don't want your car. I don't want your.
I love the way you say that, Diesel, and then round it off with a Sid James laugh.
It's like throwing a toothpick in a volcano.
I can't be saying that. I've already woken up after this place. I've already realised it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm scared.
That's fine, Claude. You don't mind.
No, not much. I'm going to get a knock on the door in a minute.
Just a quick reminder, obviously, our review the Premier League shows on tomorrow. Chelsea, Tottenham, and Newcastle representatives on. They give us their views on how their clubs coping, and if there's any transfer news or anything like that. Also, on Tuesday night, I'll be doing a collaboration with Craig from Anfield Agenda on OpMic and YouTube, live watch-along for the game Bayern Munich against Dortmund. So that's what I said. Go over and sign up to OpMic, and you'll be able to listen to our commentary through your TV or laptops. And apart from that, I hope everyone stays safe. Have a good night.
That's a real game, that could decide the league, that one way or the other. Could Bayern win that, then it could be game over. If Dortmund goes back on again, isn't it? So it's going to be a great game. Right. Thanks for everyone. Thanks for everyone in the chat as well tonight for coming in the chat. All our regulars. I'm going to go and listen to Miss Molina's piano for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm off to listen to a bit of piano from Miss Molina now.
Everyone, go if you don't know, go on YouTube and go and look up Miss Molina, her YouTube channel.
Yeah,
fantastic pianist and
very talented young lady.
Yes, and she does great drawings. I'm still waiting, Molina. How long does it take to get our portfolio ones of ourselves?
Oh, yeah, you got to do us, Molina. Listen, we're all going to go around Claude's now and watch you. All right, so
with all the MPs, we're going to break the rules.
Yeah, it's good for Dominic.
Yeah, we're going to blag it like Dominic.
Everyone, thank you very much in the chat. Wish you well, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Stay safe. Thanks, Dan, for coming, by the way.
Listen, can I just say, guys, thank you very much. I look forward to these chats with you on a Sunday. So thank you very much for having me on. And thank you to everybody out there in the chat as well for tuning in so late over there in the UK. Thanks, lads.
Thanks, Dan. We appreciate you, mate. Speak to you soon, everyone.
Claude, you going to sign out?
No, I can't. Not this time of the morning, mate.
Oh,
Wait a hold.
Yeah,
go on.
Just whisper it.
We've got Stan all the way from Vancouver. Let's let Stan.
Time to go.
Come on, Claude. Right, nice.